up here a little bit. Hey, FRF Nation, you may recognize the man that I'm talking to, and this is Bedros KEUILIAN, and he is a mentor, a friend of the fire service. He has really helped coach me, not only through my fitness, but through business and FRF. And I can't say enough good things about him, and can't thank him enough. But today I'm going to put him in the FRF hot seat. He is a best-selling author even before his book is out. They've pre-sold enough where he's going to become a New York bestseller for his book Man Up. And a lot of his principles, I think you as a firefighter and me as a firefighter can use in your life, not only for your fitness, but also to help you develop in your career and your personal life. He's also the founder and CEO of Fit Body Boot Camp. He's trained thousands of personal trainers and business executives on how to make the most out of their lives, how to get the most out of their lives, including fitness, personal life, business, you name it. And as I said, he's actually mentored me and helped me grow FRF and the concept. So welcome, Bedros. I won't shed a tear because this is actually one of our last times that we get to talk for a little bit.
It's never a last time for us, buddy, and I really appreciate that introduction, Darren. Thank you so much, man.
So I'm going to throw you in the hot seat, and today we're going to focus a little bit more on personal development, but it really comes into fitness. It comes into being the best you can be in your career, and really that's what you've taught me about. And so I just think the value that you've given me, I want to try to transfer that on to all of the FRF Nation and the FRF crew. So I'm going to put you in the hot seat, and I'm going to maybe change some stuff up. But 5 questions, 5 minutes. Are you ready?
I got this.
All right. Here we go. So you've worked with hundreds of thousands of clients, whether they're in fitness, personal training, and you've coached them. What do you find? What's the biggest reason people succeed?
The biggest reason why people succeed is they believe in themselves. Like self-esteem, self-confidence, self-worth are the number 1, 2, and 3 factors of success. When people don't believe in themselves, they don't believe in their business, they don't believe in they're worthy of success, and therefore they accept failure.
And I'm smiling because I've heard that before, and we can dive a little bit after, but you're under the hot seat. So on the flip side of that, what's the biggest reason people don't succeed?
Well, the biggest reason people don't succeed is they give up too early. And of course, when you really kind of peel the onion back on giving up too early, why is it? Well, again, all people, whether it's entrepreneurship or whether someone wants to be a world-class athlete or a world-class firefighter, they give up early because they don't believe in themselves. They don't have the self-worth, and they don't believe they have the self-esteem to accomplish that. They only believe like, oh, someone else is capable of doing that, but not me. When in reality, they got 2 arms and 2 legs. You got 2 arms and 2 legs. You're certainly capable if you have the self-esteem, self-worth.
Right. You can be that someone else.
Yeah.
That's what you've taught me. So Man Up is coming out in September. You can pre-order it on Amazon, which I already have, but a lot of it resonates because I hear it in between my small little head. But what does that really mean to a firefighter, an EMT, a medic, a father? What does Man Up really mean?
Good question. So here's the book right here, Man Up, and of course the whole title is how to kick ass in business and in life. But the idea of the book is real simple. When I wrote Man Up, I wrote the definition of it in the book, and I said, hey, Man Up means stop making excuses, take control of the situation you're in, and rise to your potential. So as a father or as a husband, it might be, look, if your household does not run the way you want it run, doesn't meet your moral and ethical codes, stop making excuses for it, take control, and rise to the potential that you know that you have. If you're in a fire situation, we could either panic, and I'm sure you guys were taught that panic usually ends up killing you.
Yep.
Or you can stop panicking, take control, and go, what has my training taught me? And rise to that potential. So really manning up is rising to your highest potential anytime you're in a situation of stress, discomfort, or disarray.
And you mentioned man up, don't panic, but to the individual. Now I'm going to shift you real quick. The fire service in general, the culture, really isn't healthy at this point. We have high PTSD, we have cancer, we have, we're fighting a lot of different health issues. A lot of it's self-taught and self-brought. What would you suggest as a culture? What can we do as a group to help us change those?
Yeah, I can tell you it's real simple. Everybody waits because you're part of a union. And look, I used to work in hotel and restaurants services, and one of the largest unions is the Hotel and Restaurant Service Union.
Mm-hmm.
And I was part of a union, and every time something would go wrong or we needed something, it's like, well, I told my shop steward, and I'm waiting for my shop steward to work it up the food chain and tell the union boss and whatever. Stop waiting. The biggest thing I can tell you is take control of the situation. If you're waiting for things to get better, do something to make it better. Create waves. Like the squeaky wheel gets the oil. And I say start squeaking. And if that means you causing a stink on social media, if that means you getting the wheel to squeak so loud that people start paying attention, that's what you do. But oftentimes it's the path not traveled that we all need to travel individually. And that means taking control into your own hands instead of waiting for someone else to do it for you.
Yeah. Yeah. And in the fire service, I think we wait for these big departments to, hey, what are they doing? What's everybody else doing? And we can't. We've been waiting for 30, 40 years. And it's very well said.
They don't know what they're doing. They're trying to decide on what's best for you. Well, you know what's best for you. So just do it. And then, figure it out later when they try and reprimand you by going on social media and saying, these guys are reprimanding me for no reason. Like squeak. The more you squeak, the more oil you'll get.
Yep, I agree. All right, you're at 4 minutes. You're doing fabulous. Last question. Now, someone who wants to make positive change, what is the first step for them? So I got somebody who's 50 pounds and they email me, they text me, they say, hey, I need to lose that 50 pounds. I want to change my life. What's the first step?
Good question. I don't care if the change is going to be in pounds or productivity, but they just need to do one thing and they need to do it for 2 weeks. So if it's pounds, hey, if it's soda that you're drinking, just do away with the soda, just the soda, nothing else. Keep eating everything else. Stop. Don't start working out. Just do away with the one thing for 2 weeks. If it's productivity, then it's, hey, don't hit the snooze button. When that snooze button goes off, hit it once and never hit it again. Get up. It's picking one thing and then doing it for 2 weeks, making it a habit, and then stacking the next thing on top. Do those two things for 2 weeks and then stack the third thing on top. That's how a habit is formed. And your habit creates your outcome.
Stacking those habits one at a time. Awesome stuff. B,
did I make
5 minutes, 0.84 seconds. Awesome. Thank you so much, man. Again, everybody, Man Up is the book. The lessons that he's taught me personally, I know, are in that book. They resonate with us. They resonate with the fire service. Highly recommend it. Read it, get it, live it. Bedros, KEUILIAN, thank you so much for being on. If you are interested, FRF Nation, I'm going to have a little candid conversation about before we totally log off. But B, thanks, man. That was awesome. It's 5 minutes. The point that you made about the group and like chiefs and everybody waiting, you hit it right on the head. In the fire service, we always look to like what New York is doing, Chicago is doing, because they're these huge, massive departments. But when it comes to fitness and health, they have no clue. Like sometimes unions do get in the way. Sometimes they're so big they can't mandate stuff. And what I found is like little smaller departments are really, really honing in, and they're making the change. They're just saying, we're going to do this. We're not going to wait for the union to tell us what to do.
That's the best thing you can do. Here's why. Look, a cruise ship, if it wants to make a U-turn, it has to make a slow U-turn 1 degree at a time. It's going to take a lot of time and a lot of space.
Mm-hmm.
A speedboat can whip around, pivot, and keep going. So I find it, like, just with my outside eyes, I find it very hilarious and interesting that a small department looks to the bigger departments like Chicago, New York, LA, whatever, and going, what are they doing? They're the cruise ship. They're moving slow. Be the speedboat. You're small. That's an advantage. Make the decision, pivot, let the big guys go. What are the little guys doing that they're so fast, so lean, so healthy, so put together? Let them model you.
Yeah, and I can't agree more. I think with this culture shift, when you look at fire tactics, because they get so many more reps in the big cities, that's where we looked at fire tactics. But when it comes to health and fitness, that's exactly right. The smaller ones have got to really start to step up, because they can make that change. And then, hey, this is what's working. And it'll go the opposite direction when it comes to health and fitness.
Yep.
I think you just hit it right on the head. And I think whether it's personal or even like if you're waiting on your department or you're waiting for, hey, I'm going to do this tomorrow, I'm going to make that change tomorrow. I think you hit it on the head. You just got to make change. And if it's not conducive, squeak a little bit and get it going. So, I mean, you hit it right on the head, buddy. I don't think I tried to throw little curveballs at you, and you know, even the first thing that you said resonated with me about believing in yourself. And from the bottom of my heart, I can't thank you enough, because you got me to do that. Even though, you know, people watching this give me that feedback, you know, it's always nice to have somebody tell you, look, buddy, you got it right. Don't worry about this, you know.
Can I just tell you something, Aaron? It's really cool to have had the privilege to coach you for so long, because while it's so long, in just a year and a half, I've seen such a massive transformation in you, not only as a professional, but as like who you've become, who you've chosen to step into. And I think that's a pretty cool accomplishment, man. So you ought to give yourself a pat on the back.
Thanks, buddy. I appreciate it. Just gave me goosebumps. Well, we're going to keep pushing this mission forward. And I know our paths will cross again soon. Again, thanks for being on the hot seat. Everybody get the book, Man Up, and live it. I know I do.